Hey everybody, Mr. Lopez here with a brief brainstorming exercise for your mini essay. For those of y'all who haven't had me as your teacher before, I try to make a video like this for each major assignment. I try to. So for our purposes in 112, the mini essay, essay number one and number two, and then perhaps if I have time for the final exam. Um, Especially for this first time you're writing something for me, I want to give you an idea of, in general, what I'm looking for. So I wrote some notes down. Some of y'all have already started working on the mini essay, and you've asked me about thesis statements. You've got some things drafted, and you want some feedback. So in general, what I've been telling people, and what I will continue to tell you all semester, is your thesis statement should be your direct, specific response to the essay prompt. So for our purposes for the mini essay, I'm asking you, what is the purpose of a college education? It's more than legitimate. It is what you should do, uh, answering the question as specifically as possible and as succinctly as you can. And that's your thesis statement. So I would, if I were writing this paper, say something along the lines of, the purpose of a college education is blank. And if you can fill in that blank as directly and specifically as possible, you'll be writing somewhere along the lines of an A-B thesis. I'll give you a more specific example. Let's just say you wrote this. You said the purpose of a college education is to prepare students for the workforce. If you stop there, I would grade that somewhere along the lines of a DC thesis. It's not specific, but it is directly responding to the prompt. Better would be the purpose of a college education is to prepare students for the workforce by doing this and this. And if those two blanks can be as specific as possible, then you're inching toward the A-B range for a thesis statement. So the gist of it is be specific, directly respond to the essay prompt, and then, you should know this, your essay should have bookend paragraphs. So an introduction on one end, a conclusion on the other. And in between are your body paragraphs. So each body paragraph, for our purposes for this essay and for essays 1 and 2 and for your final exam, each body paragraph should link explicitly to your thesis statement. And what I mean by explicitly is that I should be able to just isolate your thesis statement, if I just copied it and put it on a separate Word document, and then pluck any body paragraph individually out of your paper and read it, I should be able to say, okay, I see the connection. It's obvious between this body paragraph and your thesis. And if I took another body paragraph, I could say, okay, it's obvious, the link between this body paragraph and your thesis. And if you can do that after you draft your essay, you will have an essay that is specific in your thesis statement, in your response to the prompt, and it is cohesive in structure. So everything holds together tightly related to your main idea, which responds to the essay prompt, which is the idea of writing an essay. A few other reminders, things that other people have slipped on in the past. We don't use first person in my classes for major essay assignments. So no I, me, mine, we, ours, all of that stuff. Not for your mini essay and not for essays 1 and 2 or your final exam. So no first person unless I explicitly say you can use first person. Of course, you can use your own ideas and thoughts and examples. Just couch them in the third person. So instead of I, say me. Don't say me. Instead of I, say he, she, they. Use third person pronouns. Essays number 1 and number 2 will have research components. That is one of the main requirements of English 112 is that you do a lot of research for your writing. This mini essay, however, has no research required and it's not allowed. So you will lose points, significant amount of points, if you do research and use outside sources for support in your mini essay. We will have done, by the time your mini essay is due, 5 class readings together. And so the requirement is that you choose 3 of the 5 class readings. You choose 3 of the readings, not more or less, and you use those 3 readings of your choice to support your own claims and ideas and examples in your essay. a good ratio to shoot for. This is not prescriptive. There's no right answer, but a good ratio to shoot for an essay for my class is 80-20. So 80% your own ideas, examples, claims, and 20% support from outside resources. In other words, if you took your final draft and you highlighted everywhere that you borrowed material, borrowed language or ideas in the form of usually quotations, but quotation, paraphrase, or summary, and you saw that about 20% of your paper was highlighted, borrowed from somewhere else, you're on track. And like I said, 80-20, 75-25, somewhere around there. But if you highlight everywhere you borrow from another source, and it looks like it's a third or more of your paper, then you're going to want to revise and trim some of that down, because we're going to work under the assumption all semester that your audience has read all of the readings, all of your research materials. Your audience wants your ideas and your claims mainly, but supported by those other readings and research materials. So for this essay, you choose 3 of our 5 class readings, no outside research, and the majority of the essay is all you, your own ideas, claims, etc., written in third person. For this essay, it only has to be 2 full pages at minimum, and what I usually say is it doesn't hurt to spill a little bit onto the third page, or whatever the page requirement is, to go a little bit over, just to make sure you reach it. Sometimes there's formatting glitches that you feel like you wrote 2+ pages, but it might not actually be that. So go over so you don't lose points for missing the length requirement. But for a 2+ page paper, where you have to borrow material, let's just say quote, from 3 readings, if you quoted 1 time from each of those readings, that's probably good enough. As you start borrowing more and more, then you're sort of relinquishing your paper to somebody else, to authors who have already written their own papers. So for a 2+ full page paper, I would say I would quote maybe 1 time from each of the 3 readings I've chosen, and that would check that box and make sure I don't lose any points for that requirement. Otherwise, a very basic thing to keep in mind, but that directly relates to your grade in English 112, is that usually for English 111, we write 3 essays, but a big difference between the 2 courses in 111 and 112 is that in 112, we only write 2 major essays, and those, for what we call them, are essay number 1 and essay number 2. Essay number 1 will be worth 25% of the course, which is a lot, and essay number 2 will be worth 35%, which is a tremendous amount, and that is the last major assignment before the final exam. This mini essay is, I don't want to say only, but it is only worth 50 points. The equivalent of 5 10-point quizzes or 10 5-point written assignments. So, a D or an F, even on a mini essay, can be pulled up. It doesn't set you on a great path forward, but it's not one of your major essays, essay number 1 or number 2. So my suggestion is you use this mini essay, which is a super easy topic, something that everybody's familiar with because you are actually in college, to feel your own strengths and weaknesses out and to feel the course out. So my suggestion is do your best. Don't wait till the last minute, like many of us tend to do. And that will give you a good feel for not just where you can expect to find yourself in the course, A, B, C, D, F, but what I'm looking for and how I grade, and the types of things that I focus on when I grade your papers. And if you do your best, that'll give you a good idea of, all right, I'm in good shape to get the grade I want, or I need to pick up the slack, dude. I need to get some help at the ILC, the virtual Rio Center. I need to email Mr. Lopez, and I need to pick it up because I'm going to fail this course if I don't. So try your best. Don't wait till the last minute. And of course, y'all, if I can help, email me. Use those course resources that I have a folder in there for tutorials and essay help. So use that stuff if you need it. And as always, reach out. Don't wait till the last minute and then try to reach out. Reach out early so we can make sure you give yourself the best chance to succeed this semester, y'all. Best of luck. Stay safe out there, and I'll be in touch. Bye.